Hello, I am Guest 808. Today's video will be talking about Kazuya's triple electric staple and how to do it consistently on a hitbox using second position. If you are unaware of what second position is, you can refer to the video that I have uploaded previously. So, let's get started. So I will demonstrate the combo. Please excuse me if I mess this up. Recording tends to change the way that our fingers move. So let's give this a quick little. Right, so that's the combo that we're going to be talking about today. Definitely one of the hardest staples in the game, if not the hardest staple in the game. But I would say it's kind of required to an extent. I mean, obviously, you know, there are easier routes you can take, but the damage difference is just night and day. And we're also talking about wall carry here. Wow. We basically reached the damage of the previous combo before we even hit our ender, so you can definitely tell that this is definitely the option that you want to go through most of the time. There were a couple situations where you may not want to use the triple electric. For example, situations where the wall carry might be a little different, or you might be a little worried about the position the other player may end up. For example, you may want to shorten the combo for resets and that sort of thing, or you may want to go for a route maybe similar to like this if the wall's a little closer than you would expect. And those are just a couple things to keep in mind when applying this to your gameplay. So let's break down the combo bit by bit. So the beginning of your combo is going to start. Let me turn off rage so that we can have the proper damage. The beginning of your combo is going to start with an electric, obviously, and then you're going to do another electric immediately. There's no dash here. It's just electric, electric, back to back. And that's probably where I would tell most people to start. If you're trying to staple this combo and you can't consistently do this, then you need to start there. That's definitely a better place to get your bearings. But after the second electric, you're going to perform a deep dash electric. Now, what is a dash electric? A dash electric is basically what it sounds like. It's a dash, an electric. Well, as I consider to whiff it twice, continue. But you kind of get the idea. And the input for an electric already contains a forward input. So by tapping forward and then doing your electric input, you're kind of always going to get your dash. Now, a deep dash electric can be done in a couple ways. So the first way a deep dash electric can be done, which utilizes second position, all of these utilize second position, but is to tap the button once and then hold the button with your other hand, right? This is going to be the first input of your electric. So, just to give a recap, this is going to be your forward, and then the second forward to start your electric. You can keep this held to continue your dash across the screen, and then once you feel like the time is right, you release, and you can do your electric input. Obviously, you don't want to do the full input. It's a bit hard to get used to. It's a little hard to remember that you don't necessarily have to do a third input. That would be an example of it done correctly. And we can use this method in the combo as well. So a quick demonstration of the first method would be to do electric, electric, and then you would hold here, right? Tap, hold. That's going to be the way that it goes. So electric, electric, tap, hold. And that, you see he's walking forward, and you get the dash input. From here, you let go, and you roll into your down, down, forward, right? So it's electric, electric, hold. And you want to get used to that feeling. If you're trying to do it this way, you don't need to do left then right or right then left. I would just do whatever's comfortable to you. You should just... I actually think that this way might be the better way to do this, because it gives you more control over how long your dash is. You can also use this to just deep dash electric in general. That's another way to show the way this technique works, so I'll break it down one more time. I'm tapping with this hand, and then I'm bringing down my other hand in order to complete the dash input. Right? And that gives me my forward. And the second forward is the first input of the electric. So, when you put it all together... Oh, well, and you don't whiff it. I don't think you can run that far and do it. I think there's a step limit to how far it'll still register it as an electric. And that's the first method to deep dash electric. The second method is the method that I personally use because I find it to be a little easier. And that's going to be tap, tap. You're just going to tap and let go with one hand, with the same hand. Tap, tap, and roll into your electric. Tap, tap, boom. Tap, tap, boom. If you're wondering how I'm doing this electric, I have a video on it, but I can break it down a little bit now as well. This is the second position electric. So the way that it works is I have this hand with my pointer finger on forward, and this hand with my pointer finger on forward. So what I'm doing is I'm essentially tapping this with this hand, letting go, so that gives me my forward, neutral. I'm holding down with this hand, and my pointer and my ring are coming down at once, with my pointer over forward and my ring over 2, all at once, in one motion. And that makes it pretty easy to hit that down forward 2 just frame. So, pretty simple. You can get the hang of it pretty quickly, actually. It's not very difficult at all, once you understand the kind of position your hand needs to be in. And so back to the second method of deep dash electric. What I'm doing instead of the hold method is I'm just tapping twice and letting go. And this, I believe, this gives you your full dash. You can still do your deep dash electric. Can't necessarily get as far because the hold method will get you further usually, but you don't need to hold the forward input all through the entirety of the dash in order to get the third electric in the combo. So I'm going to do it the way that I do it, which is the way that you've seen me do it in the beginning, which is not using the hold method. It's electric, electric, tap, electric. See? All I'm doing is inputting a dash and waiting to do my third electric. And almost every time, I'm going to get it. Without really too much fuss. Yeah, that's basically all there is to it. I want to go over a couple different things real quick. Just one big thing, which is the method that I use to practice this. This is actually the speed kicks method, I believe. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm breaking down each individual input in my head, right? So the input for the electric, for the beginning of the combo is forward, down, down, forward, 2, forward, down, down, forward, 2. And by doing this really slowly, but with a lot of intention, and with about the same amount of force that I'm going to be using when I'm playing, I can just build this muscle memory over and over again into rhythm till it's a cakewalk, you know? And with enough practice, you too can make this sick Kazuya beat. Anyway, that's today's guide on the triple electric. Last thing I would like to mention as well, quick thing before I forget it, is after the third electric, you want to back 1-2 immediately. That's not... There's no micro dash or anything. If the third electric is correct, you should be able to mash your back 1-2 out every single time. If you're having some trouble on exactly when you should let the third electric rip because after the dash, you want to wait just before he touches the ground. You can actually hit him when he touches the ground, actually, I believe. But you just want to get in there pretty deep, and you want to hit him right before he touches the ground. I don't like to pay too much attention to this. I like to pay more attention to the noise my controller makes. So I will actually often play with a headphone off because you can hear the distinct rhythm of the combo done correctly and the combo done incorrectly. Right? That's correct. That's wrong. And I can tell immediately by the rhythm that the back 1-2 is not even worth going for in that situation. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments section, especially if you need anything that needs to be clarified specifically. If there's any recommendations or requests for what other videos could be made of and what they could pertain to, don't be afraid to ask. This video was actually a recommendation from a commenter. Shout out to that commenter. You know who you are. And yeah, I appreciate everybody for taking your time today and spending it with me. Hopefully you can take these strategies that you've learned here and use them to smoke all the crazy green rank spammers. And I'll catch you all later. Peace.